So what should I plant? Clovers. All right, this is white clover. White clover is it's a perennial clover. It's highly preferred nutritionist forage. You find it a lot in the bottomland. It grows naturally. Along the Red River bottom here, next to you'll see it on the levees. You'll see it naturally along the edge of crop fields. Over where I'm at, tons of white clover. It's in the road ditches. It's a natural forage. There's several varieties of it out now. Landinos are some of the ones that's been around for a while that were created for grazing. But it's a great clover. But it's tolerant of heavy and wetter soils. Has good cold tolerance, and it's a perennial that lasts for several years. This stuff here may last 7, 8, 10 years if you manage it. But now here's the key to it. This is when you start. We're going to talk about clovers here for 4 or 5 species. Keep this in mind. If you're going to plant clovers, you're going to have to manage them. Okay, you can't that wheat and oats you can walk off. Okay, you got it. You go in there and plant those in the fall, you're probably not going to need any weed control. All right, this is where problems coming from people. They need weed control and they don't have the ability to do that, or don't want to spend the money to do it. Either way, it doesn't matter. It stops you from having a good stand. So in these clovers, you're going to have weed control, because most clovers, you're going to get your growth on the back end, okay, after hunting season. March, April, they're going to be flourishing. So they're good for deer after hunting season, and that's a good time for them. But keep in mind, there's not a lot of growth. Some of them you get some early growth on, and you'll get some use out of it during hunting season. Bonanza clover is another one. It's a relatively new clover. It's kind of like white clover. It grows on these poorly drained soils. You'll see in these river valleys a lot. It germinates early in the growing season. Makes a tremendous amount of biomass. It has a hollow stem. It persists well into late spring and late summer. A lot of times you can stack these clovers one on top of the other. As one goes out, another one comes in. As that one goes out, another one comes in. And sometimes you can get well out in the growing season. I'm going to cover a couple more here that talks about that. Okay, red clover. It's got the pink flower, it's red clover. You can always remember that. And the red one's not red clover. Well, this is red clover. It's adapted to poorly drained acidic soils. It's fairly drought tolerant. Some of these are not drought tolerant. That's one of the kickbacks on white clover. It doesn't do well in these hot, dry summers. You'll have some dieback. Okay? It's very high yielding. Okay? The thing I like the most about this red clover is this is one you're going to see late in the season. I've seen it in August still growing. Okay, crimson clover. It's highly preferred by deer. It has very early forage development. It's one of the more early ones. And it's going to pop up, but it's not going to grow a terrible lot. But you're going to have some clover there. It has good cold tolerance. The cold's not going to knock it back. It tolerates these more acidic soils that are found over here in these hills in northwest Louisiana. And it does best on well-drained sites. So it's not going to do real good if it's getting its feet wet. But if you're over here in some of this dry ground, crimson clovers are really, really good clover.